the first book, it was scary as hell. I was so scared. There was something in me that could not allow me to go to the loo. I just held it.
I'm dreaming in dreams bigger than me, taking my time, giving to me.
This is my own channel and welcome back. If you're new, welcome. So today we are going to talk about the popular questions asked during postpartum, especially for first-time moms. So I know a lot of information is out there for babies, how to sleep train, how to potty train. What I could say I researched most about was the perineal area, because I was not going to have a tear. If I could help it, or if you would like to know how I did that, kindly comment down below and we will make a video next week. What a perineal area is the area between your ass and your vag. Down below if you would like me to talk about that and what I did, because yes, I did not tear during childbirth, and some of it had to do with the size of my baby because my baby was really small. So I would say for people who have had big kids have said that that is a big contribution to the perineal tear. What causes perineal tear? So ideally your cervix has a stretch limit. So once you are in labor and your cervix reaches its stretch limit, then that's when you get a perineal tear. If you would like me to talk about that as well, you can comment down below some of the questions you might have. The perineal area, this is what you have to do. First, you need to make sure that the area is constantly clean. Ensure that whenever you go to the washroom, you use a peri bottle. If you want to know what a peri bottle is, please check down below on my Instagram, Facebook or TikTok page to see my peri bottles that I am selling on my online shop, and get you some. If you want to know what a peri bottle is, please also comment down below. I can make a video on that. So I had to improvise. So I took one of those easy to squeeze bottles. I put warm water and Epsom salt in, and whenever I had to go pee-poo, that is what I used to clean myself, and then I put my perineal area with a tissue. Ideally, that's how you should use the washroom after postpartum. There are a lot of perineal bottles, hazel pads, a lot of vaginal wipes out here. If you have an easy to squeeze bottle, just put some warm water, 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt, shake it very well, and then use it to spray whilst you pee. That is what I use, because at the middle of the pandemic I could not access anything, or that is what my mind told me, because I've been getting into the law of attraction and now I know what I put in my mind. So at that point I did not believe I could access Amazon, I could access anything, so I just used what I had in hand. So one of these dishwasher bottles is very flexible and it can be easily squeezed. So I took one of those. I used to put warm water inside. I put Epsom salt, shake it very well, and then once I am going to the toilet, I will use that to spray down whilst I pee. It helped with the stinging effect. It was helping with healing, because as you know, Epsom salt is very powerful in healing. If you would like to know about Epsom salt's healing properties, kindly contact me on my Instagram, Facebook or TikTok. Thank you. So I know a lot of women are told to close their legs during their first pee, but most of the women don't understand why they're being told to close their legs and they need to pee through. That's not happening. So ideally that is your first Kegel exercise. A Kegel exercise is when you consciously contract the muscles on your pelvic region and consciously release the muscles. Okay, let me explain this in an understandable way. So ideally, your pelvic area is just a bed of muscles. So if those muscles go through a lot of trauma during childbirth, like for instance, my labor period was more than 48 hours, so that had a lot of stress on my body and my muscles, so that could affect the way your body heals after postpartum, after baby, that is. So what you are advised is to do Kegel exercises it's like to support the muscle whilst they are trying to heal. I would recommend a few Kegel exercises, 15 minutes a day, and when they feel the most comfortable to you, because I tell a lot of people what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. So if it does not feel comfortable, don't do it. And always, and I keep insisting, always contact your professional, medical professional, your doctor, your doula. If you need to contact your gynecologist, please do so before you try to do anything that you see on the internet. But this is what worked for me. So I used to do a few Kegel exercises in a day, like 15 minutes or less. Let me just be real, or less in a day, just to support the muscle healing, because I was so scared of not, healing back, because I have had a lot of stories about women still peeing on themselves when they are in their 40s and their 30s, because women keep saying that it's a normal thing, but it's not normal. So that is something you can do. So some of the ways that you can manage the situation when it happens, or if it happens, because there are ways to prevent that, is pain management using painkillers that will be prescribed to you by your doctor. Do not go and buy over-the-counter medicine that can be harmful for your baby. So make sure it's a professional who has prescribed you the drugs for pain management. Personally, I was in a fantastic mission hospital that offered me painkillers during postpartum, I would say, whilst trying to breastfeed. I was experiencing a lot of cramps, and I requested for painkillers, and they did prescribe me some. Take your painkillers, make sure they are prescribed by a professional and they are not harmful for your baby. I am one of those Googling moms, and my friends keep making fun of me a lot because I Google everything, but I have found it to be very useful when I am not quite sure whether this is something I can trust or not. So I do my own research most of the time before I allow anything to come inside my body. So the next option is Sitz bath. So if someone is curious what a Sitz bath is, go to my page, Sparkled by Mitano, on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook to see my listings. I do sell them, and this is a passion of mine due to me having to look for that Sitz bath relentlessly during my pregnancy, because I had researched enough to know that I needed to take care of myself during postpartum, and that was one of the things that was quite popular during the period. I got my baby in 2020, so during that time a lot of everything was locked up, so we did not have access to just walk around and look for it. So I was searching online relentlessly, trying to get my hands on one, and I couldn't. So I promised myself when I would open a business to be able to support other women, to be able to access something that is so essential but it's so out of reach. So a Sitz bath is a basin practically that you put over the toilet that has a detachable pump that you can use during postpartum to heal. It's used alongside herbs or Epsom salt. The culture of African women has been to sit on table salt, and I understand where that is coming from, because ideally nobody could be able to access Epsom salt. It's not something that a lot of people actually even know about. So Epsom salt is a type of salt that is not there are Epsom salts that are ingestible, but the type of Epsom salt that will be in my online shop will not be edible. It's an Epsom salt that is used to heal wounds. It's used to sanitize wounds. I would not recommend it enough. When you compare Epsom salt with table salt, the adverse effects of table salt on your skin is so bad. Its properties are more suitable for the skin compared to table salt. So I would recommend, instead of using table salt, to use Epsom salt. So the Epsom salt that I will be recommending is from Dr. Till's, because it's infused with herbs. So the herbs also support in healing and making sure all the infections and everything are not going to affect you. The other thing that I would recommend will be proper hygiene. Please take good care of your stitches. Personally, I did not get any stitches because I did not tear. So if you want to know what are some of the things I did to prevent myself from tearing as a first-time mom, you could comment down below. But for my friends who I talked to, because I was talking to everyone during that time, I kept saying I am on my own. I think nobody is going to help me. I had this hero complex, but now I am working through that. I could not imagine all the people that came through, like family members, friends of friends, like people I didn't even know came through. So I would say thank you to everybody who came through. I know I do not thank you enough, but thank you. So because of not being able, because I did not tear, I am only saying this as second-hand information, but make sure your stitches are in constant clean condition. If you would like something to use during toilet, when you are in the toilet, I understand. Trust me, I understand. I had fear, the fear of God in me, and I did not even tear, but I was scared to go for the first loose situation. What can I say? The first poop. Let's just say it. The first poop. It was scary as hell. I was so scared. There was something in me that could not allow me to go to the loo. I just held it. You know how they say rest when baby rests? They are not actually joking. So when I had my baby in 2020, I was lucky enough that a few family members were around and were able to come to my house and stay with me whilst I was trying to recover. So my mother-in-law, bless her soul, that woman is an angel. Did that woman come through? I don't know what to say. She did come through. So it was my sister, a few family members were around, so I was able to contact them and they did come to my house. And as you know, in the African culture, you shall not come to a house and sit and get served. When you visit a postpartum mom, you shall come to the house, cook, clean, and do everything you can to support her. So all I did all day long was just bond with my baby, learn how to breastfeed, just take all the help in postpartum blues. I could not sit here and tell you guys that I was depressed, because what I had from my friends and just people I know that is postpartum depression, I could not say even for a second I experienced postpartum depression, because what I had people had to go through it's just heartbreaking. But I would say that what I did to ask for the help was speak out. A lot of the time as women, we want people to read our minds, but nobody is a mind reader. And at that, even if they were, it's such a huge responsibility to put on anybody. So just speak out what you need. That I had to learn the hard way. I was in a house full of everybody and I still felt alone, because I did not know how to voice my desires. And once I learned that it was so easy to voice my desires, all my desires were met. So I needed my mother-in-law to cook less food. All I needed to do was just ask her to cook less food, and she was willing to cook less food. She believed I needed all the options, because I was a poor eater. Anybody who knows me now, 20 kgs later, I could say that I don't have a problem with eating nowadays, but I was not the greatest eater before postpartum, so there was a lot of food available and I could not eat. I just did not understand the concept of portions. I did not understand what I needed for my body. I had researched, but funny enough, you do a lot of research during pregnancy, and then after you have your baby, it's like all that information goes poof. You can't remember anything you googled.